Just like catching lightning, you must reach before it strikes, or else it's gone forever, leaving shades of fading light. I've held my hand out longing just to feel the burn again. Heavy-hearted, I've come hoping if it strikes, I'll be there when my heart knows the words and they pour out of my hands. The weight of what they carry would destroy a weaker man. Safe they stay till ready to make themselves be known, to fall onto the page of their new home. Fall onto the page of their new home.
Big bowl of grits for breakfast. It's man with ham for breakfast. It's scrambled with cheese for breakfast. Get on my knees, say please for breakfast. I've come a long way for breakfast. I'm happy to pay for breakfast. It's such a nice day for breakfast. Gonna change my name to breakfast. Don't make enough time for breakfast. Not supposed to drink wine for breakfast. Better wait in line for breakfast. You better stay away from my breakfast. Gonna use a gift card for breakfast. Gonna try real hard for breakfast. Slaughter hogs in the barn for breakfast. Can't see the big ball of yarn for breakfast. Have a moment to talk about breakfast. Don't think I can live without breakfast. Plant a seed and watch it sprout breakfast. If you hear me, then holler out breakfast. I've come a long way for breakfast. I'm happy to pay for breakfast. It's such a nice day for breakfast. Gonna change my name to breakfast. Don't make enough time for breakfast. Not supposed to drink wine for breakfast. Better wait in line for breakfast. You better stay away from my breakfast. Gonna use a gift card for breakfast. Gonna try real hard for breakfast.
Cats eat a big ball of yarn for breakfast. Howdy, everyone. Howdy, everyone. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Shit. I hope y'all are doing well. Before we go farther, welcome everyone. Thank you all for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. If you're seeing this, there's a good chance that you have something to do with us reaching 1,000 subscribers. And as someone who's been trying to do this thing since, let's take a little trip back in time, will you? How about if we go to here and move tab to new window? What if we go in here and I find this thing? We started this journey here. 6 years ago. Oh, that's part two. So I put this in my story. I might have put it elsewhere too. But by the way, thank you all for being here. Please click the thumbs up if you don't mind. It helps out a lot. And I've realized lately that asking folks to do things like this kind of literally changes everything, because I think we got, dude, we jumped up like 100 subscribers in the last, like we definitely did over 70 today. Like right now, I've been asking people to subscribe to my channel for I don't know how long, and we are now at 1,028. We are 1,028 subscribers. Like 1,028 people have subbed to the channel. And dude, I know I've said that like a couple times there back to back, like the number, it's fucking rad. What's up, Pooter, Jason, Blue Velvet, DJ Bean Flicker, we got you a wrench. Welcome to you. You're not late, Blue Velvet. I was late. I was a little late getting back home. Yeah, the homie Mumford Davis was like, "Hey, how about we go to Jay's Hibachi?" And dude, I'm telling you, that's like sprinkling crack in front of a homeless person. You know? Crack in front of a homeless person. Dude, I appreciate Elmo. Dude, let me tell you, Elmo's a homie, dude. Elmo is somebody I trust with my life, bro. That dude's been in my house. Fucking trust Elmo with my life. I didn't even realize that that's what was going on. I looked and I had like my shit was on Do Not Disturb from last night. So I saw that I had like 4 Discord notifications, and I looked in and I saw what was going on. I was like, oh shit. But dude, I'm telling you, the dogs got brought out because we upped our subscribers gargantually in the last day. And just to let you know, this is where we all started right here. Check this out.
All right. So this is the first time I've done this before. But I'm gonna
Look at this
get
this
this
guy.
set up to record.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy with his Chive Jurassic Park shirt
I have
on.
been talking about going live on the video
It's true,
while I
I was.
record over here,
At that
and
time.
I started the video already because I've never done it before. I didn't know what it would be like. So here we go. Got the old
I don't know if I
GarageBand
look like a
opened up.
Holtzman. I know I didn't have these gray streaks coming in quite yet.
There's channels on the right channel. All right. Plastic water bottle, recycle.
I used to say that every time. Drinking plastic water bottle, recycle.
I'm probably going to say that forever.
I eventually made the switch to these more environmentally friendly option.
All right. So when you guys are listening to the podcast, it will click on somewhere around here. Here? Here.
Yeah.
Here. How's it going, folks?
Yeah.
How you living? Always with the questions you can't answer. I apologize for that. Beat bow.
I used to start the podcast off just like that every time. I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going? Doing well? Good. Glad to hear it." But before I did that, like honestly, that's not even how I did it. I was just so used to going into that. Like that's just how it came out. But I'd be like, "How's it going?" "Oh, I'm always asking you questions that you can't answer." But then eventually I upgraded it to the thing that I said first.
Means,
But
as I say normally, answer the questions, but please answer the questions for yourself.
yeah,
The
answer them
questions
to
need
yourself.
be answered. This is like Radio Shack. You guys,
is dumb.
if any of you guys ever listen to Sunset Grill, Blair and Noah and myself.
Yeah, that was a podcast back in the day I used to do.
I use this as like maybe not necessarily a journal, maybe a journal, but definitely just to get out some of the things that I wish I could I don't know, just get out some of the things that I would need to say or want to say or whatever the fuck. But
Hey, like that. Look at that. April 17th, 2018.
yeah, so I listen to his podcast a lot, and I see, and that's the Monday morning, Thursday afternoon,
Bill Burr.
whatever podcast.
I was listening to a lot of Bill Burr back
Bill
then.
Burr's a genius. F is for Family is hilarious.
This is before I started comedy.
So yeah, I just feel a certain kinship with him on that, and it's just nice to be able to have somebody who's somewhat successful in what's going on in this podcast. I've been doing everything I can in my power lately to be nicer, to just make a conscious decision to not lose my shit so much, because I'm bad about losing my shit, man.
I was bad about that. That's true.
I don't know. It's over little tiny things that don't matter at all. I'll totally lose my shit, and I don't know why. I always go back to the excuse, which I stopped using this excuse.
Like my granddad.
Well, my granddad was 10 times as worse or 10
Yep.
times as bad as me, and
I've already said all this stuff. I'm not going to listen to it again, but I just like this cool, right? Like just going back a little bit and seeing like, oh, that's where I was. That's where I was back then. What's up, Manna? Who else did we gain here? Manna. Some dumb jerk. What's up? Hell yeah. Now sounds like a good time for us to chat a bit while I grind up a little bit more green tea. You know what? In this celebratory, I'm going up here to something I only have 2 smidges of left. Boy, what? What? Anyway, so I don't know if this is this is all very good news, because we are 1,000 subs in and an incredibly large amount of steps closer to becoming fully monetized on this channel. So I am not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure all of the hoops that I've got to jump through here, but I am gonna look in just a second. I'm gonna go in here and look. Dab time. You playing through the MLB The Show? Who'd you get drafted by? What team you playing for? What position you playing? What's your batting average? What's your WAR? What's your sign? What's your shoe size? Mother's maiden name. Name of your first pet. Name of the first street you lived on as a child. Name of your elementary school. Ooh. Ooh, wee. In the immortal words of Snoop Doggy Dogg. Ooh, wee. Good Lord, people. Where your grandma live at? Who your daddy and them? Hell yeah, first baseman, ending career in Atlanta. That's right. Go Braves. Did you come up through Atlanta? You went through the Mississippi Braves and then the Gwinnett Stripers. Hell yeah, dude. Braves lost today to the Nationals. 1.02K subs. It's so cool to see that next to my name down there, dude. Of course I know, man. I love the Atlanta Braves organization. I even love the Rome Braves. That's our single A team in Rome, Georgia. For many years. For many years, the Durham Bulls were the Atlanta Braves AAA system, AAA team, I believe. The Durham Bulls, if I'm not mistaken. And then for a time, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans was their single A affiliate, but then they got bought out by the Chicago Cubs and they got bought out by the Texas Rangers for some time in the 2010s or somewhere around there. And then the Cubs shortly after that, or somewhere early in the 2000s maybe. I love baseball. And playing MLB The Show, coming up through AA and AAA, you get to learn a lot of the names of these teams and the places where they like their mother team or their the franchise they're a part of. Like we got here in Round Rock, Texas, we got the Round Rock Express, which is the Texas Rangers. I think that's their AAA. It might be AA, but it could be AAA. Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know that? Yeah, dude, I love baseball. But yeah, we got to play a couple of gigs at the Pelican Stadium, and they asked us to play Go Cubs Go, which is the Go Cubs Go, Go Cubs Go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. It's like a whole it's an old tune they've been throwing around for years. But yeah, there's something about like AAA baseball, like where people are like playing so hard to get to the show, and then they finally like there was this guy the other day. He had his first major league hit after spending like some ridiculous amount of time in AAA, like 20 plus years in AAA, and then he got his first major league hit, and it's a big deal. Everybody's just losing their shit, and it's like this dude's probably tears in his eyes, like I never thought this would happen, but I'm so glad that it did. Yada yada. But enough about baseball. We got a little bit of this. I mean, I got a little, had two decent sold out shows. And how many of you guys were there for the live stream earlier today? That was a banger. I hope that and I don't believe that she would. She's a sweetheart and we love her, and I don't think she'd be upset if I shared. But I got a message today from my after that stream of my good friend Jamisha, who you guys have seen on Kill Tony. She's hilarious. She is a incredible stand-up comedian. And she battled Hans Kim for regularship on Kill Tony a while back. Just had a really good Kill Tony run. And she sent me a message and she was like, I really hope you continue to do those work streams like that because it gives insight into a side of comedy that not a lot of people see. Do you guys feel that way? Sorry. Do you guys kind of feel that way? Like that's a super behind the scenes, like I didn't really think about it until Chase Lepard. I don't know if you guys, when we're just doing a whole big, like, Chase was in here earlier, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Joke World. I know you guys are familiar with Joke World. This is ridiculous. But Chase is old school old school like comedy content collective guy, and those are the guys who would like. Those are the guys who would like do all of the Photoshop stuff early on for like Two Bears or Your Mom's House. They would do like make Photoshop stuff and just a bunch of comedy content. Like, and then they were the Comedy Content Collective, and he also does a bit of the thumbnails. I think he does the thumbnails and the art for Joke World. So when he said, man, I might clip some of this stuff for some B-roll, dude, I was like, you guys have my permission to use any of that stuff 100%, because I would love for people to like be more involved with that side of the thing. Like, because it's like, you don't get to see inside, like nobody gets to see what it's like to do that. And to be honest, we're not revealing anything too much. You know, I'm staying on top of my work while I'm doing that, by the way. I'm making sure that I'm, doing my job correctly, which I think all of you guys can attest to, as all of you as my witness. Yeah, so I really like doing that. And the only issue that I see is when it starts to get hotter outside, the phone will probably overheat, because I think it takes a certain amount of battery power to use the zigzag mic, which sounds incredible, by the way. I want to go.
My granddad was bad.
Wait.
But that doesn't have.
Oh yeah, my granddad. Wait, what did you say about our grandfather? You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, dude, my granddad was like, he was something else, brother.
How about this? How about I got a flyer for both of them if you change your mind. Yeah, man.
I sounded Alabama there, both of them.
What's up, y'all?
Hear that?
Mine.
Both of them.
I got a flyer for both of them if you change your mind. Yeah, man. What's up, y'all? To fulfill club's 2-item minimum. Top of the stairs, buddy. Enjoy it. What's up? Hell yeah. I'm gonna give you the $5 off Barker code.
Yeah, that's right.
What about it? Twist up. Hey. Telling jokes.
I got so many copyright strikes on this thing already.
Come up here a lot.
Yeah. Would you want to leave an email for a receipt at all?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, my wife says. Like, I'll get a receipt.
I tell you what.
This was a smooth move right here on my
I
part.
don't want to say.
See, this is the thing. This is what I was saying right there. I know that you guys, I still have myself. I was just looking at it. I know that you guys can't see it. I was telling the guy, I don't want to show I don't want you to tell your email address on this live stream, because I know fucking how people are. So I'm being like conscious about being live, and if anybody comes by to say anything that is incriminating in any kind of way, or not incriminating, but that's probably not the best word, but you get what I mean when I say that, right? Yeah. I don't see there being any kind of reason why I should have to stop doing that. But I do need to make sure that I get my phone charged up enough. I got to make sure the phone's charged, because I need at least 100%. Today I started at like 94%. And then after going live, it does make work fly by faster, but also like I kind of enjoy that Truman Show effect of being on camera out in the world, doing a work thing because I waited to go live until after I had already hit the rush, you know, after I'd already like kind of, you know, you hit the rush and get everybody in. So then like you guys will be able to see me catch the stragglers as they show up late. And then you guys got to hear at the end the line of people who stand next to me, and then it's cool. Like I know that this is like, if I love it so much when I catch somebody who's first in line who's just a comedy nerd that kind of just loves comedy, because I'll do everything that I can to like give them that like behind the scenes experience, kind of like I'll, anytime somebody's walking, like standing there next to me and like somebody walks by and like we all fist bump everybody as they go by, and then you fist bump somebody and then you look at them and be like, now this person right here that just walked by, that was Dylan Sullivan. Dylan Sullivan is an absolute murderer from the Comedy Store. He's an absolute legend over there, and is even more so here now in Austin. And never seen him have a bad set. Like he kills in every situation. And then somebody like Ari Matty, who Matti, Ari Matty. I don't know if you guys know that guy's name, but you're gonna know him soon. And Ari Matty walks in, and I'm like, dude, this guy is an absolute murderer, dude. He fills out rooms in Estonia that fucking nobody can fill. Like, he's insane. Like, in fact, if you type in EST, Estonia, Estonian comedian, he's the only thing that comes up, I'm pretty sure. Let me put that to the test. Estonian comedian. He is the only thing that comes up. He's the man. But anyway, I love it when I get to show people like that. Like, dude, these are guys. You're going to see this dude be an international, like literal international star. He's already like international pretty much because he came to America and he's from Estonia. He was already like huge there, but he's here now, bro. Like, this is an absolute game changer. People like our homie Drew Nickens that were in the chat earlier. Like these people are the absolute, they're going to be the future of this whole thing. And I'm here to tell y'all, dude, Drew Nickens is one of the kindest, nicest people I've ever fucking met. It's usually something that the comedy community is like, they treat saying someone is nice like a bad thing because it might indicate something else, but that is not the case with Drew. He is hilarious and he's so fucking nice, dude. Like, one of the sweetest dudes on the fucking planet. But either way, I love giving these people that stand next to me in line that experience, like to be like, hey, this is who that is. You guys are going to recognize this person. They're going to be huge. Like, they're going to be household names by the end of this year. And it's just so cool for you guys who get comedy to be able to see David Jolly pop in, or like Ben Bankus jump on. Do you guys know Ben Bankus? Like, absolute killer Ben Bankus? Dude, that guy crushes. I mean, in a way that not a lot of people crush. Dude, him and Ari are very similar. Like, I don't, and Dylan, you don't ever see those guys have a bad set. Even when they say, oh man, I didn't get him, I didn't do something right. Like, you watch them and you're dying the whole time. And meanwhile, they're like, fuck, I fucked up a word in this joke. I told Ari that tonight. He came out. He's like, yeah. I was like, no, but that's a great comedian. It's somebody who can go up there to a room like this, because it was a tired room, end of a Friday night. Everybody was just tired. And he still went up there and fucking got him. He got him. And that's so cool, dude. Just watch somebody go up and get him. Joe DeRosa came in tonight. Like, Joe DeRosa popped in and went up. It's just crazy. I was like, you never know who's going to pop in, dude. Like, you really never know who you're going to see on any of these shows, dude. Like, it's pretty incredible. Joe DeRosa came in, and I was like, yo, we got to get you to open a 24-hour diner around here, man. We need some sandwiches. And he was like, yeah, man, we're trying to do something. It's just so wild. And just all the people that get to experience this thing. And like, there's, like, I just like to explain to somebody what they're experiencing and what they get to enjoy. Like, to these random folks, I'm just like, hey, you don't know who this is, but I know who this is. And like, they're like, you're going to be hearing their name a lot in the future if you follow comedy. But like I said, it's nice to introduce those people to that sort of thing. I like you guys being able to see the success rate of the bark, because that's something that I brag about a lot. But I've earned it because I'm very good at it. And like, it's so cool to show you guys how well it works. Like I can hook people, and it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun game to play. But I like showing you guys that. I also just like being able to let you guys like see somebody like Jolly come by and talk for a second, or Ryer or Mumford, like, see these killers. The barking is fun because you can have fun with it. You can have a lot of fun with it as it goes. Like, you can see the people walking by, and you can kind of decide what kind of person they are by how they're dressed and bark accordingly. Like, if somebody looks like they might not want to hear about me hitting my kids. If it's somebody that might not want to hear about that, I'll give them the old comedy upstairs. Not even kidding. We're telling jokes. Some of them are funny. Because that's the most honest thing. And so, I mean, at least that tests them enough to see if they're in for something. But if it's like a dirty thing, like the old Shadow Band show that I used to bark for, that is like the jokes they don't want us to tell. The conspiracy theory thing, I'd be like, Hillary Clinton killed Tina Turner, comedy upstairs. Don't trust the government, comedy upstairs. Yep. I'm going through a nasty divorce. Probably lose the kids. Comedy upstairs. It's funny, like, sometimes I have to remember to say comedy first, because if I just lead with the absurd thing, I stand a chance of losing them in the beginning. In which, if I say comedy upstairs and then say a ridiculous thing, they either laugh at it, and then they already know that there's comedy. They've already heard me say something absurd, and they laughed at it. So that means that they're going to be safe upstairs, and they'll probably laugh at the things that the people on stage say. So it's like the litmus. Litmus? Is it litmus or litmus? M or N? Litmus? I feel like it's litness, like the litmus monster. But it's that test for them. Like, if you survive that, that means you're going to have fun at a comedy show. And then there's people who walk by and I'll do the thing and then they laugh, but they keep walking. So I loudly say to whoever's standing next to me or you guys, that guy will be fun. That guy will be fun in a comedy show. And then I'll explain, because he doesn't take anything seriously. Like like that guy will be fun at a comedy show. Loud enough for them to hear me say that. So like sometimes I'll catch them as they're coming back by and they're curious, because I don't know, those are the kind of people that you want up there. And dude, there are sometimes where there's somebody who shows up who is asking too many questions. I can already tell that you're going to critique everything too much. Like, you're already asking for too much information here from me. Well, who's going to be on? Well, are they funny? Well, have I seen them in anything? Like, at this point, you're looking for somebody to come in and fucking blow your tits off. Like, this is like that. You're already asking too much. You're already doing too much. Like, then I am not going to be as adamant about making sure that, like, oh, okay, so yeah, you want to do that? You want to go up? If you guys want to go up, I got you guys. Our tickets are $20 each, and there's about $3 fees of each. So for 2 tickets, that'll be $46. And like not charge them, like not give them any kind of help on the ticket at all. I'll do this thing. If I bark somebody in, I will use the code of the person who I saw outside barking the most, or unless nobody else was outside barking really hard, I'll use my own code, because I deserve it, because I'm doing the work and I'm barking most of the people in. But even today, like, people would come up and I would make sure, like, hey, did anyone give you a flyer? And if they say yes, I ask them, did they give you a name or a code, or what do they look like? And I'll just, by their description, I'll figure out who gave them the flyer and use their code. Like, I want to make sure, and by using their code, this is what that means. That means that, here's a little inside baseball for you. That means that each person who works at the club or barks for one of the shows at the club has a promo code within our computer system. So if someone comes up and says, here, Colton handed me this flyer down there on the corner, then I go, okay, cool. So the ticket's $20, and I'm going to go over here where promo code is and put in the promo code Colton. Barker Colton. He's a barker. So that is a $5 code. That means you save $5, which means you save on your fees, all of your fees, plus like $1 and some change. So for a $20 ticket, you end up paying, $18. So you end up saving all of your fees plus like another $1 or something. But if it's cash, then it's even. Like cash, like I'll say, cash, if then it'll be $15 even. And I have a little bank of cash there, which I'm sure you guys saw a couple of those as well. But that means that it goes back to the computer on the inside, like the main system banks up all of those promo codes that are used, and it shows how many people used one person's code. And I think people started to think it was not fair that my code was the one that was used the most, and I mean by a lot. So that's when I was like, you know what? Then I'm just gonna, like, if I legitimately bark someone in and there's been no one else out here for hours, and when the people come up, I'm asking them if anyone else gave them a flyer. I'm doing my due diligence before I use my code, is what I'm saying. Is I give everyone else a chance to have their code used, and if the people are like, no, I'm like, all right, well, the show is in progress already, so I'll give you guys the $5 discount, and I'll just use my code for that. But generally, if they come up and they're giving me a hard time, I don't offer them a discount. And to be honest, if they come up and they're giving me a hard time, I kind of try to shoo them away and lead off with information that will make them kind of not want to come in. Like, I'll be like, all right, guys, so the club has a 2-item minimum policy, which means each of you has to purchase at least 2 drinks while in the venue. And then the tickets are $20 each, and then with taxes, it'll come up to like $23 each or something like that. So I start off with all the worst information and try to turn them off from wanting to go up, because I know they're not going to be fun upstairs. And then if they are, and now granted, this is only something that I do on shows in which we don't need tickets for. You know, if we need people in the room, I'm putting people in the room. I don't care how shitty they are. We'll take their money. I don't care how many questions you ask. Of course, you go upstairs. But if it's like a room where we're close to capacity, and I just want to play a game to see if I can put so many people in there that they say stop, no more. Like, sometimes I like to play that game. But like, yeah, this is like, I should specify, because I don't ever want it to seem like I'm trying to discourage people from going to the club in any way, because I just don't want terrible comedy crowd members in there. And these people usually always end up being a problem for the servers. They'll be like, oh, well, nobody said anything about we had to order drinks. And anytime I'm working, that's absolute bullshit, because I'd say to everybody, even people who just heard me say it to the person in front of them, I say it to them. You guys heard it. Dude, no kidding. Even for the happy chicks people, the people that are going into a bar that I don't even work for, I'm upselling on the mac and cheese before they even walk in. Also, if I go to sell a ticket, I'll usually ask general or preferred, because I'm trying to upsell on the preferred, because usually if it's a guy dressed nice with a woman that it looks like he's trying to impress, I'll be like, general or preferred? Preferred gives you guys a closer seat to the front and just priority seating. Basically, like you're sat like as those in the best seats that we have available or whatever, and he'll be trying to like show off and be like, oh yeah, of course, well, of course, preferred for the love of my arm for tonight, absolutely preferred. Yes, absolutely. Dude, I mean, and I was after I got done streaming, my boy Anthony, comedian from Virginia, who's very fucking funny, and I believe there's going to be some content coming out of this house involving him and the boys. I think him and old producer JP was talking about some stuff the other day. Did y'all hear that? But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Like, he was like, dude, he was like, dude, you're like, I don't know. I was just selling so much tickets in like a very short amount of time. Like, people would just walk by and see other people buying tickets and get curious. Oh, what are you getting tickets for? And I'm like, we got a few seats left upstairs if you guys want to go check it out. It's a comedy show. Never know who's going to pop in. Really killer lineups. I mean, There's all kinds of people that are in town over at the Comedy Mothership. Some of them like to come over here and run their set before they go over and do it at Mothership. So you'll get to see comedians in here. Then we got a ticket and a seat for you right now, and they're going to be sold out down there till the end of the year pretty much. And, I mean, you'll get to see a lot of comedians that perform over there at a fraction of the cost. And then all of a sudden they're like looking at each other, and I'm like, anytime I see them look at each other and I see one of them maybe try to convince the other one, maybe we walk on down the road, maybe we do something else. And then I'll be like, and you know what, guys? My name is Yonder. I'm going to give you guys promo code Yonder. That will save you guys $5 per ticket. And I'll do that so long as you guys make sure to buy at least 2 drinks while you're upstairs. And then they look back at me and they're like, you know what, we'll do it. And I'll do that. Awesome. Cash or card? Card? Okay, cool. Now there's a $3 fee. There's a $3 transaction fee with a card. Would you guys like to leave an email for a receipt? So I make sure to let them know this is what the charge is going to be on your card. It's a $3 upcharge for the fee. Would you like to leave an email for a receipt? Hell yeah, Jay Hood. What's up, dog? You get a wrench. Yeah, would you like to leave a receipt or for a receipt for your email? Yada yada. And they're usually, oh, no problem with the email. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. We get you rung up here. Can I see both of your IDs, please? Just to make sure that you have them. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. And here's your wristbands. Do be sure to grab at least 2 drinks while you're upstairs. So here's the thing. I already let them know, like they were already curious about the comedy. Got them in the comedy show. Got them to buy the tickets, even though I'm giving them a discount that someone barking on the street would have already given them. So they're already getting that, and I'm making it, hey, look, I'm saving you $5 on your ticket. And also, I'll do this. Listen, I'll do you this favor. But for me, you do this favor for me. I do this for you. I give you this barking code for Yonder. I give you this code to save you $5 on this ticket. But in return, I ask that whilst upstairs enjoying the show, at some point during the show, please, each of you, purchase 2 beverages. These beverages do not have to be alcoholic beverages. We have very, very delicious Athletic Brewing Company non-alcoholic beers. I enjoy the IPA. The Golden is also very delicious. But if you don't go in for the sort of thing, we also have Liquid Deaths and Red Bulls or coffee. I do you this favor, but in return, you purchase these beverages. So I've already let them know the rules of the club. Purchase 2 drinks. But I make it feel like you have to purchase the 2 drinks. I feel like you have to purchase guys, I'll hook you guys up with this save you a couple dollars here at the door to get you upstairs. But buy a couple drinks while you're up there, will you? You're probably already going to do that anyway. Just good faith. Verbally agree with me. Like I don't make them act like they're in a fucking exit row on an airplane or nothing, but I'm just like verbally saying to yeah, sound good? You guys cool with that? Oh, of course. And usually they'll be like, 2, more like 5, and I'm like, hey, watch out. Hey, watch out. And then I'll send a message. Hey, watch out for this guy. This dude just said he's going to have 5. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. But there is sometimes when I hear in the group chat that there's a problem upstairs and I know exactly who it is, and I'll be like, yada, 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 wearing this blue shirt, yada, yada, yada. And they're all like, yeah, how'd you know all of that? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I should have, like, been a little more. Sometimes you can tell when somebody's going to be a problem downstairs. Not being drunk, but just loud, trying to be the showboat in their group of friends. I can just tell. I can tell sometimes somebody's going to be coming in there and just trying to show off in front of all their friends. Make a show about them. Usually that's prevalent in large groups of guys. Or just large groups, not just guys. Because sometimes it's the ladies, but I've seen it, dude. Back in the day, it was every single show. It never failed. I don't know that we ever had, and this was at Vulcan, I don't know that we ever had a single show. And well, this is foolish to say. Maybe there was, and I just don't remember. I don't know that I remember many shows in which no one got kicked out. It was always like somebody was getting kicked out of that show. But I hated it when it would be like you could tell it was just a dude who works hard all week, like doing a regular job, and probably just the only thing that gets this man through his week to like the only thing that keeps this guy from driving his wife and 2 stupid children off a bridge is hearing Joe Rogan interview people that he finds interesting. And this man somehow miraculously gets tickets to see Joe Rogan do stand-up comedy. And he says, honey, got a babysitter. I got us 2 tickets. We're going to go see Joe Rogan do stand-up comedy this Tuesday night. A little middle-of-the-week treat for us. We're going to go see Joe Rogan do stand-up comedy. And he gets in there, and he's all excited. And his wife's like, I don't give a fuck about Joe Rogan, but you know what? Hell yeah, I get to put on makeup and wear this nice dress and get a little tipsy on a Tuesday night with no kids. Sign me up. Oh, a man just walked in and told me exactly what we're going to do. I'm here to tell you, don't want to lose any of you, but the lizard brain kicks in and just says, listen. And then get inside. Oh, 1 White Claw, 2 White Claws, 3 White Claws, whoa, 4 White Claws. And let me tell you, Santa Claus brings presents down the chimney, but White Claws bring unnecessary words out of drunk ladies' mouths in the middle of a comedy show. So, a door guy will go up to the table and be like, hey guys, just reminding you there's no talking during the show. Thank you. And then you walk away, and then you have to keep an eye on them. And then they start looking around the room and notice that a lot of people with black shirts on are looking at them, waiting for them to say something. So then she leans over and says something to the husband, but quiet enough to where it's like, oh, okay. But then he's just still sitting there laughing, having the time of his life, you know. And then say that it's somebody right down on the front row. So we have to get Colt, who's the guy who now runs names for Kill Tony. Redman gives Colt the name. Colt runs across the street, yells the name, gets the comic, brings him back. That's Colt. Colt, when he first started working with us at Vulcan, he was the most limber of us, and he could run down front row and stay low enough to go up to a table and just say, guys, we really can't talk during the show. And then the man starts to get frustrated because his hard-earned pay has gone to get these tickets that he waited so long to be able to acquire. And he's here, babysitter at the house, Tuesday night. And God forbid his wife not open her fucking mouth and spew out every fucking thought that it has during the middle of a comedy show. And dude, I've seen Joe go off on some of these women, dude. No, you don't have to go. Just shut the fuck up. Just everybody else is here to have a good time. Just have a good time. Just shut the fuck up. And then, like, I've seen it go bad to where he's like, they're going to kick you out. They're going to come and get you. They're going to kick you out. And in my opinion, that was kind of his way of saying, okay, come get her, guys. Because that's usually what we would do. But it's just crazy, like, I hear all that happen, and even back at Vulcan, there was times when I worked the inside, and I would be the guy who would go and get people and take them outside. But after a while, like when I got promoted to head door guy over there, I started staying out front. So like I saw when the talent showed up, I'd open the door for them and get them inside quick. Or I was just there like to make sure nobody gets in. Like, nope, you can't come in. Yes, you can come in. Like it's. Dude, when Tony does it, now Tony is one of the guys. It was hard to work for a Tony set for the door because we're so used to doing door a certain way. But Tony kind of likes to play with the people a little bit. He doesn't want like Tony's like a python and they're like a mouse. He wants to like hypnotize them a little bit with his movements and like zero on and bite their fucking heads off and swallow them, when it would almost be like sometimes Tony would be like, hey, stay away from my mice, in a way where, yeah, he would just be like, hey, I'm not done with them yet, back the fuck up. Like, those were really cool. There was one time when Tony called us off after the dude was like repeatedly like yelling at the stage. And then I've got my manager saying, hey, fucking go talk to him. I don't care what Tony says, go talk to him. And then I go and talk to him, and then Tony's like, dude, are you fucking these fucking Jesus Christ. And then he's like, oh, and the door guy's mad at me. I will say this about that, though. Door guy's mad at me, he says on stage. So I was like, all right, well, I'm done. I won't do anything else. So I walked away. After Tony said, he came and found me, and he came and talked to me. And he said, listen, you know, I'm not gonna say what he said. I don't want to. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna reveal too much. But he had some really fucking nice, encouraging things to say that I still think about sometimes when I'm sad. You know, like those things. That's like, hey, like, I've got your back. Look, like, I've got your back. You're doing a great job, and I got your back. But he has to be that on stage. You know what I mean? Like, he has to, like, that's the thing. And I fucking love it, dude. But anyway, sidebar. That leads, so this lady, back to the lady and the guy, front row. Colt, We're going to have to get these people out of here. So we go over, and we go over to Joe's guys. And we say, hey fellas, we're about to have to get this. We're about to have to get these people out of here. Just want to give you all a heads up. And they're like, all right, we got your back. So start to get the people out. Usually you say, guys, we've told you, we've warned you, we've given you enough chances. You gotta go. I'm sorry, you've got to go. Come with me. And then usually you can say, guys, you got to go. Come with me. The trick that I would do I would grab their phones off the table that are locked in the yonder bags and take them with me, because they're gonna follow their phones. Like, and that was the thing that I would do sometimes if they seemed like they'd be in trouble. We'll be like, hey guys, you got to come with me. And get them to the door, but you get them outside. And the part that breaks my fucking heart is they get outside, and usually they're standing there with me. And the woman is like obviously belligerent drunk, and was obviously the reason that this guy is having to leave this comedy show. And I look at him, and I can just tell. And I'll get the door guys. The second that somebody comes out, they'll say, "Don't let these people back in." And I'm like, what happened? And they're like she was talking. Like, I was like, did the guy talk? And if the guy wasn't talking, I'll usually go, hey man, I know, like, we're more than happy to let you back into the show if you'd like to finish the show, but just we're not allowed to let the lady back inside. And then it'll just be like this thing where you can see this guy weighing every fucking moment of his last miserable 8 to 12 years of his life. And then he just reluctantly like drags his drunk wife out of the, like, just, I don't know, dude. Yeah, dude, it sucks when you're like, it gets somebody that you love ruins something precious for you. Zen gets it. What's up, Zen? But dude, I want to be honest with you, dude. There's been a couple of times, dude. There was this one time I remember. This dude's wife was yapping through several comedians, like, and they let it go for a while. But the man came out, like, I think they kept going over to the table telling her to be quiet. And I think that he came outside and yelled at her and left her standing out there with me and went back inside to finish the show, dude. And I didn't know how to feel about that. Like, I just... like, this dude just comes out and just, he's screaming at this woman on the side, and then he goes back inside, and she's just standing there, like, fucking crying. But, like, I don't know, dude. I've seen that happen before. And I was like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? I mean, I guess, dude, he was, like, a part of a party, like a four top, and all of a sudden this, and I remember there was like another one of the, like, I think the lady came out to check on her or whatever, and then like went back inside. But I would always keep an eye on anybody that was standing there and make sure that nothing fucking weird happened. But dude, this shit like that's happened sometimes. I've seen an entire group of friends turn on one guy. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw like a really long-term friendship end one night, and it might have been in front of sunset. Like a whole group full of people was really embarrassed of one of the guys, like, because one guy came out absolutely screaming, like, fuck this place, this piece of shit. You're all fucking liars. You're all pieces of shit. And then, like, I'm turning around like, the fuck? And then everybody else walking out is like, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my God, I'm so. And then he's like standing out on the road, like screaming. And of course, manager, door guy walks down like, hey, this guy's a fucking issue. Like, he just tried to fight. He just tried to fight one of the manager upstairs. Like, what a fucking moron. And then everybody else is coming back over to me like, I'm so sorry. Like, then I don't know, like, they stood in front of sunset, this group of people, and I don't know, fuck, I wish somebody who was here that night, because I know there's a couple of comics that was standing down there when this was going on. Some people that works at Sunset I don't remember who, but there was a big argument that happened right out in front with this whole like group of people, and I was kind of listening in, and they were like bringing up old shit in their friendship. Like, shit's getting rough when somebody's bringing up old friendship shit, like just bringing up old pent up shit that they've had for a while. And I'm like, they were all just like, are you seriously going to be this person right now? Are you seriously going to do this? And he just would not come off of the hill he was dying on. And dude, I just saw him walk one way and the entire group of friends walk the other way. And I was just like, damn, did I just see like a lifelong friendship end at a comedy show? I don't even think Holtzman was on stage. You're right about that, Jason. Them Vulcan crowds were wild, but to be fair, we watched that crowd like hawks. And it's because we had Yoni and Christy Nova on cameras up above the crowd. So they were able to see, like, they were 2 feet above everybody else in the room. So if somebody was talking, they were in like a bird's nest. So they could literally, like, they were snipers when it came to seeing exactly where it was coming from. So it got to where I would stand next to, like, behind Christy with the cameras, and then she would just like grab me whenever she saw somebody and just let me know exactly where they were. And it made it like literally like a very kind of militaristic stance on dooring. And I don't know if we should have been that aggressive about it, but I gotta say it was very fucking efficient in how that worked. And just running around and being a runner in the room and stuff like that, and just keeping an eye on who's talking or doing whatever. We were very on top of it. So maybe just like and to be honest, I kind of picked up a little bit of the seriousness from like Rogan's guys. Like I kind of looked at them as like, okay, if this is the standard, then I'm going to do the closest that I can do to like the energy they're bringing. And they bring the we're not fucking around energy. So I was also bringing that. And I mean, granted, it was a comedy club, but we took it very seriously. And I think that I probably still have a lot of people who don't have a good picture of me in their mind because of some things that went down at Vulcan, because I do take my job very seriously. And I still do that now at Sunset. Like I'm sure people will probably have a similar feeling about me now because of some shit that has happened at Sunset. But I mean, I'm sorry, but when it comes time to like be that guy, I have no problem being him. But at Vulcan, we might have invited a little bit of that with how aggressively we watched the room, because if somebody I would always try to give somebody the 3-strike thing. Like, if somebody says something, keep an eye on them. If they say something again, move in a little closer. And if they say something a third time, you have to walk over and be like, hey guys, there's no yelling at the stage during the show. And then you have to, hopefully that works. because usually that does one of two things. That goes over and lets them know, the people at the table know, hey, they're watching you, so don't disrupt the show for everybody else. So that gives everybody else sitting around the table the opportunity to like kind of step in and be like, hey, we don't want to get kicked out of here. We don't want to get kicked out. So then if they do it again, you have to walk over and be like, hey guys, there's absolutely no yelling at the stage. If you do it again, we're going to have to ask you to leave. And it's just a fucking, I don't know, crazy situation. And if we have to go over to them again and we're like, hey guys, you just got to leave. And then they're like, man, you guys have been watching us all night. We're just laughing. You guys are picking on us out of everybody else in the room that are doing it. You guys are just singling us out. And it's always the loudest, most obnoxious fucking person that does this sort of thing. But they all have the same thing to say. We were just laughing. Then that's when we have to go back to kindergarten on the sidewalk out in front of Vulcan on 6, where I'm just like, look, I know that you think you were just laughing, but like repeating the punchline back to everyone at your table is not laughing. You're speaking then. And I take personal issue with that because it's like, oh, you're trying to rob some of the laughter from the comic on stage for yourself at your table. You're just trying to repeat it there to get them to laugh again, like to feel like you're on it. But I don't know. It just fucking, I had a personal issue with that, but that's beside the point. It sucks when you have to do that to a whole group of people, and it's like, hey, you've got to leave. And if everybody looks around, if everybody looks at me like, fuck, and we've been watching the table and we see this one person who is a problem, we're like, you have to leave. The rest of you guys are welcome to stay, but this person needs to leave. And it sucks because they've got 4 yonder bags sitting on the table and they all look the fucking same. So you have to take all 4 of the yonder bags over to the station to unlock them to find the one dipshit's phone. And usually it's a drunk dipshit, so they take the wrong phone. Ah, man, it's a nightmare. See, this is the kind of stuff that people don't really talk about in being a door guy. You know? But I will say, though, it is kind of cool to see it when it goes the other way, aggressively the other way, like not just the bad people that are wild and shit, but it's so cool when you get to see somebody come in, they're like, man, just flew in from Canada, just got off the plane, narrowly made it to our hotel room in time enough to check in and come get in line because we have general admission tickets and we want to get a good seat. And they're standing right there at the gate right before we open the gate. And then because general admission would always get first come, first serve at the bar. And I would always I don't know. I always got so excited when these people were there super early and all of a sudden they're getting their phones locked up and then they're getting passed off to somebody to be wanded, and then they get sat right at the corner of the bar in the prime spot, the prime of the prime spots. There's been a couple people who have come and hung out, just stayed at the house for the weekend or whatever, like comedy fans that we know that we've known from Discord or whatever for a long time, and that's where we'll put our friends, you know. But it's really cool when somebody who just shows up that's just a huge comedy fan and they were here and they wanted to see fucking Joe Rogan, and they come out and we put them at that corner spot on the bar, and then all of a sudden they got literally the best seat in the house for probably $25. And they're getting to see Shane Gillis and Norman and Ari and Ron White and Brian Simpson and fucking Tony, Bert, Tom, Like they're getting to see all these killers. Roseanne. And dude, it's just like so cool for when somebody comes in and they get to go sit over there and they get to have the fucking time of their life, dude, and see, like, laugh till their face hurts and then leave telling that story for the rest of their lives. Oh, I got to see, and I tell you what, I was sitting right here and Joe Rogan was right there where that table is. And you know they have these moments to take with them for the rest of their lives, dude. So, I mean, it's so, and the cool thing is that happens so much more often than the annoying person that gets kicked out. But why is it so much less intriguing for us to talk about someone having the actual time of their lives than it is for somebody screaming at me from the sidewalk saying that they got bullied and they were picked on the whole fucking time, and that we're fucking ruining comedy shows for people. We're ruining someone's good time because we're reminding them that they can't talk. They can only laugh. Like, why is that? I love it whenever you get the opportunity to make somebody's day. Like, it's so cool sometimes. Sometimes people would be trying to get a ticket to the show. They would just show up and they would be like, man, I just really want to go see Joe. I really want to get in there. And then all of a sudden, like, if they hang out there, sometimes people have always liked to stand next to me when I was outside and just talk. So if I talk to them for a while and they seem cool and I vet them and I see that they're fine, and then all of a sudden somebody gets kicked out or whatever, I know that there's a spot inside, so I'll like give them a wristband and be like, go check out the rest of the show. You know, just doing something like most people would be like, yeah, $20, but that's bad faith. Like, you know what? Just go enjoy yourself. What I really like is we used to, anytime somebody with a really good seat got kicked out, we would get them to bust that seat and we would go up to the obstructed view section. And I would ask the bartender upstairs, who would usually be Devin. I'd go up and ask Devin. Devin works at Mothership now. I'd go up and I'd say, hey, is there anybody at any of these bad seats along the walls that are really cool or like tipping good? And they're like, yes, these people here are cool and they're tipping good. I was like, good. We got a really good table downstairs and I want to take them to it. It was so fucking cool to walk over to these people at a table where they're watching on a TV screen and just be like, hey, you guys want to come to a better seat? And then they're always, oh, fucking absolutely. So come with me. And then you get to walk them down, like walk them around where close to the green room, where if you're sitting in those obstructed view seats, you get to see where the guys walk out. You'll get to see them walk out from the green room there. And it's like, it's not a secret. It's just where they can, like, where you can see them. And so they'll come out there, like, you walk them past over there where they saw them walk down, and you get to walk them down the same steps that they just saw Ron White walk down. And then you show them to this nice little corner high top right over here onto the corner, and you get to sit them down there, and then just give them the whole, like, you give them like the whole, enjoy the rest of the show. So then you've got a table upstairs, so that if there's anybody outside that still wants to go in, like, you can go out and be like, hey, I'm gonna give you a wristband. You're gonna have to watch on it from a television screen, but you'll be inside the room and you'll get to hear the comedy. So you've made two people's life in some situations. You've really like done something really cool for two people. The couches were cool. I remember those. Like, I remember, dude, I remember sitting on one of those couches with David Lucas one time, and Joe walked by and just like leaned over and gave David Lucas a big hug from behind. Like he just like leaned over the back of David Lucas and gave him a big hug. And I was just sitting next to David, and I just turned, and there was just fucking Joe there. And this was, I think, before we had officially met. Just cool. Those couches were cool. Super VIP. But the couches were done by the time I got there, like by the time I was working there. They were there when I started visiting. But yeah, those were like, yeah, those were sick. It is 4 o'clock in the morning here in Austin, Texas. I've got a GB packed. I have to be at work in exactly 12 hours, which leaves me, say I need to get 8 hours of sleep, and I need 3 hours of being awake. I need to get up at least 12:30. Need to get up at least 12:30. What's up, Brendan? Had a great wholesome moment on Kill Tony from LA. Oh yeah, but so I have to get up at 12:45, which means I probably need to be asleep by 4:45 if I want to get a solid 8. But if I went to bed at 5, I could still, like, so long as I can get a good maybe 6.5 to 7, I'll be able to function. Hairless nostril or hairless eardrum? I gotta say hairless eardrum, because I can breathe through my mouth. I can only hear through my ears, and that's more important to me. I gotta be honest with y'all, dude. I've been like deep sad lately, like hardcore sad. And not like in a weird mopey way, but just like, I don't know, it just shit hadn't been coming together. I've been not like feeling myself. I haven't been feeling like good. But I gotta be honest, man. I started today with like 900 and something subscribers, and I've been sitting right above 900 subscribers, and I remembered the secret show pre-show that I posted recently said I'm at about 100 subs away from being able to monetize my YouTube, and we've gained more than 100 subs in the last couple of days, which is fucking incredible. And dude, this little bullshit, just getting over 1,000 subs, this stupid bullshit has like changed my perspective on everything. Cause man, I don't know, things are going so much better than they could be going. Like, dude, I don't know, all the people that I get to interact with and all the positive interactions I get to have with people on a daily basis is like, I have nothing to be sad about. Like I have nothing to be sad about. The 666 nostalgia, that was a huge number. I don't even know how long's it been. Because I know I posted that on my Instagram. I don't feel like looking yet, but I know I posted that on my Instagram whenever that happened. Setting goals, keep the ball moving. That's right. And to be honest, like I don't even feel like I've been setting any goals. I just feel like y'all hear that? I just feel like I've been, I don't know, everybody's been asking how I'm doing lately, and I've been answering thriving. I've been saying thriving so much lately, even when I didn't feel like I was actually thriving. I was saying that I was. And I may have literally just manifested the thrive. I don't know, man. I know that it's just a silly thing, but there's been folks that are here like Jason, Pooter, Blue Velvet. Hell, like, honestly, all you guys, Roadkill, a lot of you guys have been here since, like, for a while now. And I don't know, man. I think we're turning a corner into something else in this YouTube labyrinth that we've entered into. And I'm stoked that we got a lot of new people that are going to be hanging out with us and experiencing a lot of this situation with us as well. I'm going to do my best to do this more often at work. I always have the zigzag mic with me and the audio quality, as you can hear.
Your information live on this.
There you go.
I only put this in for one ticket and I need to make it for two.
Oh, I remember that. Somebody paid a cash ticket and I had to go back and do it because I didn't have time to do it right then because I think I was twisting up a little hog leg there. Showed up a few hundred virtual red bands ago. That's right, dude. I gotta be honest, bro. I've probably said this a dozen times live on camera. It's hard for me to not get emotional when I talk about how much Brian Redband has done for me. That motherfucker, dude. Like, that motherfucker changes people's lives, dude. No homo. Let's smoke a little green tea in the name. Smoking in the name of. But for real, dude. Virtual Redband changed my fucking life. Brian Redband changed my life. Like multiple times. Like just by creating the podcast stuff that got me into all of this. Like I got into all of these things that he was I got into all this shit that he's responsible for before I knew who he was, you know? Dude. That motherfucker's got it. He got it figured out, dude. He can see around curves. That's why I know that virtual reality is going to be everything. Because he is in it. He is into it. Like he has this thing to where whatever it is he gets into turns into pretty much the biggest thing on the planet somehow. Dude, just in the podcast universe, think about how huge, think about it. I don't think the world is the same without Brian Redband. If you remove him from all of this stuff, could it have been somebody else? Maybe. But it wasn't. It was him. And all of this shit exists because he put it all into existence. Like Rogan and Your Mom's House and the whole comedy podcast. Like maybe somebody else maybe somebody else could have went and saw Tom Green set up from his house, and like Tom Green would be Joe Rogan now. Like Tom Green would just, but all I'm saying is like they saw that, and all of a sudden Red Band was like, oh shit, like comedy needs this. And that, dude, it's just fucking. And then, like, just creating that and me getting into podcasting separately, and then finally, like, getting into the Kill Tony universe and joining the Discord and kind of like, and then becoming like friends with Kay, and then him like getting in virtual reality. He was already into virtual reality stuff back then and knew what VR chat was, and jumped in with Red Band and then joined, like brought me in there. Like I'm just saying, like this motherfucker has done changed your boy's life on multiple occasions. Like lastly being like the whole sunset thing, man. Dude, I didn't know I needed something. Like, to be honest, I kind of got out of the door guy thing from Vulcan for several different reasons, but I wasn't interested in doing the door anymore. I wasn't interested in doing any of that. But when Red Band sent me that text and said, hey, I just bought a comedy club, but keep it hush hush because I'm a silent partner. You should work there. Like, man, I fucking love that club, dude. You can tell. If you just see how happy I am sitting out in front of that place, telling people to go inside it. Like, you can tell. What's up, Molly? But, like, you can just tell how happy I am sitting out there in front of that fucking club. Having the time of my life. I fucking love that place. I needed it. Man. It is the ultimate clubhouse, dude. The homie Derek Poston comes and just sits back there and just murks on Mario Kart and challenges people. Brendan's been around, man. He's been around since the beginning. I think, Brendan, you might have been at that very first secret show that night, weren't you? Weren't you there at that very first random Friday secret show we did? I think it was on a Friday. It was a soft opening. Yeah, dude. It's just been a hell of a ride, man. And then you sit there and you sit there and you play the virtual reality with Red Band, and then you play a little song or two or something like that, and then he's like, man, you got to get the fuck out of Myrtle Beach. Like, all right, yeah, maybe I'll get out of Myrtle Beach. Maybe I'll move to L.A. Yeah, maybe we'll move to L.A. And it's like, oh, guess what? We're leaving L.A. We're moving to Austin. What? You mean everybody's leaving the Comedy Store? And Joe's not going to be at the Comedy Store every night anymore? And they're all leaving. They're leaving Los Angeles? All of them are? And they're going to Austin? Going to Texas? That makes me sad. That they're leaving the Comedy Store to go do that. But then I got to thinking, man, if I was going to move to LA, what if I just moved to Austin? And Red Band's like, dude, you got to get the fuck out here. You've got to get the fuck out here. And then you come out there and you end up landing the job at the Vulcan, doing all of those Rogan shows we were just talking about, and the Kill Tonys every Monday, and the secret shows every Thursday with the awesome pre-shows by Trace of Lime and Nether Hour. And then all of a sudden, oh, Nether Hours can't do something one week. Hey, I know, what if we get Yonder to do it? And then all of a sudden I cover for Nether Hour 1 week. And then the next week they're like, hey, well, you feel like just doing this? Because we got another residency on Thursday. Why don't you just take this? And then we'll like every other week you can just do these. So then I'm just rotating with Trace of Lime. And then something happened, and Trace of Lime's singer had this surgery on his voice, a vocal cord surgery or something like that. Tonsils, maybe, I don't know. So then it's like, hey, why don't you just do this week and cover it, and you can just do them on Thursday. And then I just start doing them. And then I just start doing them every Thursday. And then the next thing you know, I'm just the pre-show on every secret show now. And this just keeps going on. And then one day, when you're doing a pre-show, you're sitting in the green room and you're rolling up Fat J's, and all of a sudden your fucking hero that turned into one of your closest friends somehow, Brian Redband, looks at you and says, hey, Yonder, go downstairs and get Joey Diaz. Hey, go get Joey Diaz. And then I fucking, holy shit, it's happening. And I run downstairs. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, there he is. He's here. Here he is. Hey, and then Janice, Joey, this is Yonder. He's our friend. He works with us. Very delicate handshake, I gotta be honest. But then shit like that happens, is all I'm saying, man. All I'm saying is it's been a long road getting from the slumber I had slipped into in Myrtle Beach to come out into Austin, Texas, and land in the position that I've landed in here in this community. And even after all of that, I told you all of that to make this fucking point, as corny as it sounds. Even after all that, your boy was sad, feeling is just circular, feeling like I've just walk around in circles, like that 90s song. Just the same old rigmarole every day. And I'll be damned if the thing that saved me the first time, my internet friends, came in clutch and subscribed to my YouTube channel enough to put me over 1,000 subscribers today. To change everything about how I felt. To change my whole mental situation. So, I did make it a point to say that people don't know how much it meant to me for them to have helped me get to this milestone today. But man, I just needed that. I needed a win. My friend Anthony, the comic from Virginia that I was telling you about earlier, said, man, you got to remember that you know, it does like this. And you know what? You came off of one of these, but now you're on one of these. So it's going to happen again, you know? It's not always going to feel like we're shooting to the moon. But maybe we're just gaining momentum to shoot back up. Who knows? Like, it's just, that's how it is. That's just how it is sometimes. And I'm happy with that. And I'm excited to be a part of this whole thing. And I know I've said it a bunch, but man, I've just gotten too many people keep pushing me towards it for me to not capitalize on it right now. But I'm gonna start going back. I'm gonna start going to Kill Tony every Monday, and yeah, I guess I'll go back to Kill Tony every Monday. I guess I'll go hang out with all of my cool friends. And it's just people keep asking me, like, dude, come and hang out, please. Just, you need to be there. And I know that I do. And I know that they can probably see that I'm not doing a whole lot. But going to Sunset, even my Instagram doesn't, like, everything on my Instagram is just me on the stage at Sunset. That's the only thing that is there, literally. Is just shit from me on stage at Sunset. It looks like, and because I always wear a white shirt, it all looks like the same. It's from a clip from the same video. Yeah, Brendan, I'll be seeing you out there on Monday. Colt and Bonsai, Janice, they've all been like, dude, you gotta start hanging out. Gotta start being a part of it. That's why I'm here. And like, I have permission to be there, so why not? So yeah, I got a minute. I got a strong fucking minute. And I've got over a year. I've got over a year's worth of stage time that I've put in. So I'm a year better than I was the last time I went on. More than a year. Shit, it's been a year and a half now almost. Or shit, maybe even more than a year and a half. Last time I went on was in Skankfest year before last. Because I didn't go to Skankfest this last year. I'm thinking about going this coming year, but we'll see. Yeah, no, but seriously, why the fuck would you say that? I didn't put enough volume behind it. You got to put volume behind William. No, but fucking seriously. I fucking love William Montgomery, dude. William's got a good family, bro. He comes from good people. His whole family's like incredible folks. I've actually hung out with his brother Selden a couple times here lately, dude. Selden's a fucking good dude. You can tell just certain people were just, raised by good people. God love Larry and Francis. Some of the coolest humans on the planet. Fun fact, me and William did a podcast with his parents on the William Montgomery show with Larry and Francis and me. Fun. Oh yeah, and Selden did Williams. I need to listen to that, man. I hadn't listened to it yet. I hadn't had a chance. Dude, hell yeah. It's so funny. Like, he does did he do the whistle thing? Did he whistle some? Dude, his noises. He's like a fucking Michael Winslow, dude. He's like a sound effects machine. He was sitting in the green room with us the other day for a secret show a couple weeks ago, and he every once in a while he'd do the little bird whistle thing, and it's just so fucking perfect. Cool people. But I did the William thing. I did a William thing to him the other day. When I walked by, he was working at Mothership. He had his back to me, and I said this William thing. I don't even remember what I said, but I did it in William's voice, and he turned around, and I gotta go to Vulcan. Good to see you. I gotta go to Vulcan tomorrow. I'm doing the best of Vulcan tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I got to play from 9:40 to 10:10, which means from work I'll be gone from 9:30 till about 10:15, 10:20, depending on how long it takes me to get my shit packed up. And then I might have to go to Velveeta Room because the Velveeta Room guy tonight asked me to come over there after I get done at Vulcan. I might do another song or two over at the Velveeta because he said it's going to be a music thing where people are doing like some funny songs, some serious songs. So I feel like I should go over. I've never even been to the Velveeta Room. Ryer. Oh. Hole in the pin cap gang. Look at there. Oh, Ryer. Ryer's the best. Ryer's the best. I gotta be honest. Like sometimes I think it's kind of obvious. Sometimes I'll be in a really sour mood, but just Ryer hanging around. Ryer has this. It's hard to be in a bad mood around Ryer. It's just it's a thing. It's a whole thing. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Ryer, are you working with me tomorrow? Are we working early? Are we the early people tomorrow together? Love you back. You're the best. Yeah. Door gang. That's awesome. We pulled the all-nighter. We closed tonight and we open tomorrow. Nailed it. The coolest unicyclists. Yeah, I'm early too. I'm the 4 o'clock. But then, yeah, I gotta go to Vulcan. I might have to do the Velveeta thing, but I think all of that will happen within the time frame of running doors for the late show, and I don't know what those shows are like tomorrow. I haven't looked yet. So it might end up working out to where it won't be too much of an issue. But we will see. Oh, I was so excited. I feel like I was just like I've been in such a sour mood as of late, and I just feel like I was today. Today was just, boy, as the kids say, today hit different. You know, today really hit different. This feels like an old school MI stuff chat. One of those old, like, where I would just sit there and I'd kind of like talk until I talked myself in or out of a problem. But usually out. This feels like that. I enjoy the way that this, like, mental unwind. This is It, 1990. Stephen King's It. The original It. That's right. Venture to say it slapped. Good Lord, did it ever. Good Lord, did it ever. I know I've told Ryer, I don't think Ryer's into scary movies so much. But I don't know, maybe not. I don't know that maybe. But I know that usually I bring up scary movies and people are like, "Oh, I don't like that so much." But I like scary movies a lot. And I used to fall asleep to this movie on repeat. When I was trying to get over my fear of clowns, because I had an irrational fear of clowns. And I just remember falling asleep to this movie, and I would just wake up in the middle of the night, and it would just like be on the screen, and it would fucking freak me out. But I just kept doing it until I wasn't scared anymore. And now it's just kind of like a comfort thing. Howdly doodly. My favorite classic scary film. If I have to pick one, this is hack as fuck, but I kind of want to pick the Texas Chainsaw Massacre just because of like its campiness of the way it was filmed, and like it's jarring. The cinematography alone is jarring, and like it really just it kind of it throws your stomach onto the side like a couple of times. Like the jump scares aren't really relying on a lot of like theatrical music with a lot of violins and stuff like that playing stuff. It's more like I don't know, it's just it uses the sounds. It uses the sounds in the scene to create the horror and stuff like that. I don't know. It was really fucking. I like the way Texas Chainsaw Massacre happened. I don't know how someone can sleep to children screaming. It really doesn't have to be children. I can't sleep unless someone is screaming. I can't sleep unless someone is screaming. This playlist is actually pretty strong. It starts with Jaws, and then it plays The Meg, and then it plays The Meg 2, and then it plays Fear Streets Parts 1, 2, and 3. That is 1994, 1978, 1666, respectively. And then that plays into Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, and then that rolls into Kong versus Godzilla, the first one and the second one. I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of new additions to it. And to be honest, the volume on those two are much higher than the volume on the new ones because they're a much better file and just a better volume quality that comes out of there. And man, it's loud. It wakes me up in the middle of the movie, certain parts, and I don't like to be woken up. I like for it to be a drone of sound. I don't know if this is a thing, but it should be. There should be like a decibel limiter that you could activate. Like, it would be cool. The Notebook is an incredible movie. The book, meh. I preferred The Wedding, which is the sequel to The Notebook, and they shouldn't make that movie. It was incredible. I believe Nicholas Sparks is an incredible writer and doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Boy, I bet y'all didn't see that one coming, did you? Shocking them left and right. Yeah, I've read The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks. It's a beautiful love story of... Yeah, I'm not going to give it away. Thank you so much, Ryer. I'm about to do the same thing. I'll see you bright and early. when scary movies started to include titties. Okay, yes. So that's one thing that scary movies that's one thing that scary movies figured out early on, is that people are going to watch them because they know there's going to be like a bunch of cheap tit shots. And it's like the way that they shoehorn them into the movies, no pun intended. The way that they do that is like, I don't know. It was, I remember being a kid, like thinking, ooh, this is something that's like, okay, so you get to see, this is because you get to see like some cool titty or whatever like that. But then it gets scary later. Working night shift because he went to Stevens Christian Academy. Bro, they don't even know about it. Hey, can you see that right there? I bet you can't see it on camera. That right there is my tankard. This thing right here with all those pins sticking out of it, that says 2005. That I got the year I graduated high school. The handle's broken on it. It says Stephen Christian Academy. Yeah, dude. That's crazy, man. Me and 7 other people are the only graduates ever from Stevens Christian Academy. Literally, we were the first graduating class ever. And the year after we graduated, the school closed down. The school closed down because there weren't enough students enrolled to properly be called a school. Yep, that's right. They did indeed. That was one of the and there's many reasons why, and I don't really go into it too much, but there was many reasons why I kind of like stopped fucking around with like organized like churches and that sort of like churchy Christianity and stuff like that, because I realized, yeah, the next year they did get shitted because they had to go to but most of them either went to Marlborough County, or the other ones went to Scotland Christian Academy, and my sisters graduated from Scotland Christian Academy. Kayla went to Marlborough County, but the other two, my other 2 sisters, they went to Scotland, graduated from there. But yeah, so like the next year after my class graduated, so what it would do was it would add a grade every year. So a lot of like if some of the people, like some of the boys that wanted to play sports or their parents wanted them to play sports, when they got up to a certain age, they would take them out of the Christian school and put them in public school so that they could like be involved in like team sports and shit like that. Because we didn't really have a whole lot of that going on at Stevens. And so after we graduated and the kindergarten class moved up and they had sprinkled out or whatever, and then not enough kindergartners were enrolled, the next year the Pentecostal Holiness Conference shut down Stevens because it wasn't like they technically didn't meet the requirement to have they didn't meet the requirement to be able to properly educate because of a certain number of students that had to be enrolled to be recognized within the conference or something like that. It was some bullshit. But it sucks. We did play football one year, dude. Hey, you want to see something crazy? Hold on. You hold your horses. Yo. How about this right here? How about this right here, bro? Y'all, look at this. I was number 76. We would practice for all the other teams. Yes, this was, I got this chair from Red Band. Yep. Oh yeah, dude, and look, that is what most people play with. Like the jersey, those were the jerseys that we played with. Those were our jerseys. Like we didn't have like real jerseys. Those were our real jerseys. Those are like what most teams have as like a practice jersey. Is what we actually used. Oh man, that Jimmy was sick, dude. Dude, that red, this is real crazy shit. I had a little red 1995 GMC Jimmy Sport with 15-inch Pacer chrome rims, and I had a lowered 3 inches in the back, 2 inches in the front, so it would sit up a little bit, you know, like that lean. Look, everybody's doing that shit now. Nobody was doing it back then, but I did it back then. Did I not? Like, I mean, I had it, like, my truck sat like that back then before anybody was doing shit like that. They call that the Carolina lean now, but dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't remember seeing anybody having that shit really done like that back when I was doing it. But also, it was the Sport 2-door. And I had a 1200 watt amp running to a Pioneer 8. A Pioneer 8 in a bandpass box. Like a really nice, hell yeah, the Yonder Squatter, that's right. It had a really nice box, and with an 8-inch speaker and 1200 watts running to that speaker, I was out hitting everybody in my fucking town. Like, my vehicle had the loudest sound system, and this is such a redneck thing. This is such a fucking redneck thing to brag about, dude. But dude, like, this thing was out bumping everybody in my town. And then after the 8 blew, my brother Alan gave me 2 Kicker Comp VR 12s. So instead of 1.8, I had that same amp pushing to 2 12s now. And dude, that shit was loud. It sounded very nice, but I also replaced all of the interior speakers with Pioneer everything, and I had a nice CD player in that truck. And eventually I had like all of the I had the windshield wiper and the lock button shaved off of the back, so it was like just shaved. It was just flat. There was no button or no wiper on the back. It was back when people were doing that. I was going to try to shave off the door handles as well and get clicker button open like doors so that there was no handle. It was just clean. Dude. That was a nice vehicle. That was probably, if I had to guess, that was probably my favorite vehicle. I had these red Dragon, it was bright red. It was like candy apple red. And I had these dragon mats, these red dragon mats in the floorboard. It's fucking sick, dude. I miss that truck. I'm sure there's pictures of it somewhere. But then I sold that and I got that white Ford truck that had the lift kit and the mud tires on it. But I like that. Now that truck was something else, dude. I had a good run there with that one, but I sold that for way more money than I had in it. But yeah, I had a Ford F-150 extended cab Lariat 3-door with a 3-inch body lift, 33-inch Nitto mud grapplers with 20-inch rims. No, actually, I think they were 35s. Did I say 33s? I think they were 35. 35, 20, 12, 50, I believe. I believe those measurements on those tires. Nitto mud grapplers. It's a really good tire. You're riding down the highway and it would just sound like your wheel bearing's bad. Just whining, dude. They were so loud. Those mud tires were so loud that people were spraying rhino liner on the inside of their fender wells, like to thicken up that, to kind of mask the sound a little bit of those tires. They would whine so loud. You remember that truck, Jay? That was a cool truck. I was also one of the first people to have mud tires on big rims. Like big rims with mud tires. Wasn't a lot of those going around back then either. Yeah, dude. Man. Having money was so cool. I wish I knew what that was like. Man, I tell you, I got all that living done out of the way early on in my life, so I could move to Texas to struggle. Yeah, that one, I might have a picture of that one close by here. No, I don't. But, yeah, 20-inch rims were big back then. That was in 2000 and I think that was probably 2000 and shit, 5 or 6. Yeah, 2004, 5 or 6. I think I had that. I think I had that either right after I graduated or right before I graduated. I forget. But then I ended up selling that for way more money than I had in it. I had probably $6,400 in that truck, and then maybe 75 with the rims and tires all included, and I ended up selling it for $9,800, I think, almost $10,000 back then. And I bought a Expedition. That was a 97 Expedition, so I bought a 97 F-150 that I sold, and I bought the Expedition, and then ended up getting in a wreck with that Expedition, and sold the Expedition I sold it wrecked. I sold it with the front end and the rear end fucked up with a salvage title. I sold it to them for, I think I still made money on it. I can't remember how much. Maybe it was 64. I don't know how much I paid for it, but I still made money when I sold it. And that day I was like, I gotta buy another car now. So I had this much money to spend on a car. So I bought a 2000 V6 Mustang. I say V6 because I bought a 2000 red convertible Mustang. Had the V6 in it, so it didn't sound great. But I did take it, and I got I bought the Cobra rims for it. Oh, dude, the trail grapplers are sick, dude. They're very loud, but I do love the trail grapplers. They're more versatile for sure. But no, I got that Mustang, and I did put the Cobra rims on it, and that like upped the value on it exponentially. I only drove that for a little while and ended up selling that, and I think after I sold that is when I got the Maxima that I had, or Altima, Nissan Altima. Bruce might be the guy who's been here the longest. Bruce, we made it to 1,000, buddy. Look at us now, dog. Thank you, Jade. Yeah, dude. I had a lot of, like, my mother, my biological mother, and my stepdad, they owned a car dealership, a wholesale car dealership. So like all this stuff, like when I talk about I sold this for more money, like these were sold at auctions, and we cleaned them up nice. We cleaned them up nice, took them up, presented them nice, and would sell them at a professional auction. Like if you see those auctions on TV, like the Meacham auctions or whatever, it's literally just like that, except it's like 20 bays in a giant endless garage that just like with 20 lines of cars driving through, and people just bid on them. And the people who are selling the cars have to deliver their cars that they're going to sell for the week and show up and then go register their cars and try to get good numbers, which means like you want to get somewhere. You don't want to be like, it's sort of like a comedy thing. You don't want to really be first. Sometimes you don't want to be last. You want to be right in that sweet spot in the middle where everything is rolling. So like you get somewhere between like, 20 and 80 and you're doing all right. So like everything's kind of rolling, but you don't want to end up getting like way past in the hundreds and shit on those. Yeah, those beach shows were good, man. Yo, yeah, I had this sick blue guitar that I lost at a pawn shop because I'm a dumbass. This sick blue Fender Splattercaster. We've talked about it on, I think I've done an entire stream where we talked about this guitar, if I'm not mistaken. But dude, when I was like a little hotshot guitar player, young, trying to be cool and show off, playing this shit behind my head. Maybe it worked if we still talking about it. Maybe showing off worked a little bit. Yeah, man, I got a really fucking cool guitar over here that I never play. That was gifted to me by my homie Patrick from Whistle Pig that I really need to utilize more often, dude, because it's a fucking incredible instrument. I always use my my Strat, my Fender Strat. This is a Schecter Strat. Schecter's a very nice guitar. And honestly, that guitar, that was the sickest guitar I've ever seen, dude. Literally sickest guitar I've ever seen in my life. And dude, and it's crazy that I owned it for a time. It's crazy that I held it. I wonder where it is now. Like one day when I'm famous enough to like be like, hey, I am looking for this guitar, this specific guitar. Like I have very good pictures of it, and it'd be easy to find out. It'd be easy to find that. I mean, and not easy to find, but I'm sure somebody has seen it, or somebody's like, if it made it through that pawn shop, Dick's Pawn Shop off of 544 in Myrtle Beach. Anyway, it's about to be 5 o'clock in the morning. This is the time that I need to be going to sleep, so that I can get at least 7.5 hours if I go to sleep right now. Realistically, probably 7. Hitting this GB right now, y'all. We might do another work stream tomorrow if it seems like the day will allow it. Nice trip down memory lane there with you, Brother Hood. Bruce, you've been here. You've been here, dog. You've seen the whole climb up. Folks, back when men were men, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we go live. Also, just like the video. Please like the video. If you haven't had enough, I just made our stream from earlier today at work. It's a pretty lengthy stream. I think we go for about an hour and a half or so. If you want to put on a little more, go click back to the video that came on just before this one was streamed. I streamed it earlier today, and there's a lot of really cool moments in it, a lot of cool drop-ins from some comedy friends of mine, a lot of silly goose time. You get to see me be a little serious and work mode for a second, and it's kind of a little, you know, just a little look behind the curtain of what happens whenever we're working the door at these comedy shows. So that being said, I'm going to try to stream tomorrow a little bit down there and give you all a little bit more content. I'm thinking you're going to be seeing me a lot more now. So that being said, you guys are the fucking best. I love every one of you, and good Lord have mercy. This is only the beginning. Nothing can stop us. We'll be all the way up, you know? All right, y'all. I'm going to give you the rest of the breakfast tune. Night, night. Love you, mean it.
I'm happy to pay for breakfast. It's such a nice day for breakfast. Gonna change my name to breakfast. Don't make enough time for breakfast. Not supposed to drink wine for breakfast. Better wait in line for breakfast. You better stay away from my breakfast. Gonna use a gift